Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Riley and today I'm going to be doing a progress update of everything I've been working on recently. I don't have any finished objects just yet, but I do have a couple whips and a few things that I'm hoping to start pretty soon. So let's get started. So the first and most exciting thing that I've been working on is my Slipover. So this is what we have so far. I'm almost done the double knitting on the first side here. I have, I think, like 7 more inches to go on this because the idea is it will tie out the side here into a cute little bow, and then I just have to do the double knitted band on the other side here. And I was definitely nervous to start the double knitting. I've just heard a lot of people say like it's kind of tricky and tedious, and I'd say it definitely is like time consuming. I mean, when I was working on this first part of the band, like I started here, worked it, and then attached it here, it just felt like it was going on forever. I mean, it's quite long, and it's hard to tell your progress when you're just working such a short piece back and forth. But working along the Slipover itself definitely felt like it went a little faster, and then now I'm back to feeling like I can't tell how much progress I'm making. But it's almost done, and then I just have to pick up the other side and do the same thing all over again. The first time that I picked up on this side, I did it on the wrong side, so then I had to redo it to reattach. So that was a little frustrating, but I'll just pay much closer attention this time and make sure that I do it right the first time, because you do pick up in every stitch, and so there's a lot of stitches between this marker and this marker. So something that I do really appreciate about this pattern though is at every single point where you're picking up stitches, so along like the shoulder and the collar and the sides, they do give an exact like pickup rate, and I appreciate that because I feel like, I don't know, I don't have a ton of experience with knitting still. I've made several things, but I feel like I still need that extra assistance of figuring out a pickup rate or just how many stitches to pick up to kind of be able to do the math, and so I just appreciate that detail being in there. But I am really happy with how it's looking so far. I feel like the collar really helps pull it together. I feel like things always look just a little bit frumpy before you put the collar on them, and then this really makes it look like a nice, almost finished piece. And I also am enjoying how once you get the double knitted band on the side, it kind of flattens it out compared to over here where like the ribbing on the side is just like completely curling in. This kind of flattens it out, so I'm excited to see how it blocks out, especially like this ribbing along the bottoms. Getting that to kind of flatten out and stretch, I think will look really nice. The pattern should be out, I think, at the very end of March. A lot of people in the test knit group have already finished theirs and started wearing them, which is really exciting. And then I think a lot of us are still just working away at the bands on the side, but it's definitely exciting to see people's finished objects as motivation to finish my own, because in a couple weeks I'm going out to Ontario to see family, and this is for my sister who lives out there now. So I'll only get like a week or two with this before I go out and give it to her, so I definitely would like to try wearing it just once before giving it away to her, and then I'll hopefully be starting my own pretty soon. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about this. I'll definitely film something about it when it's done before I give it away, just to show like a final finished product and a review. I do really love this kind of shoulder construction though. I just think the detail just looks so nice with the ribbing, and I think it'll look even better once it's blocked out and you can see the detail just a little bit better. It's still kind of like scrunched together right now, but and then the yarn that I'm using for this is the Haynes Creek Heathers by the Gathering Yarn. So it's pure Highland wool. This is in the color Caramel. I think I'm on, I want to say my 3rd or 4th skein, and I think I bought 5. So I think I'll be using, I've got about this much yarn left, so this should be plenty to finish the band that I'm currently working on. But then if I only have a little bit left, I think I'm just gonna start a brand new skein to do the other side, just so I don't have to like attach yarn halfway through. I think actually no matter what, I'm gonna have to do this because I don't think this will be enough to do 7 inches plus another 20 to then attach it into the other side. So I'll probably just finish this, hold on to the scraps for something else. I have an idea already for a project that I want to do with this, which is in my last video. So then I'll probably just start the next skein and then it'll be all done. So yeah, if anyone has advice for how to block finished garments, I would love to hear it, because I feel like I don't have the most efficient blocking system. I don't have like proper blocking mats and pins yet. I just usually use a towel and just kind of stretch it out, but I'm wondering if this one will need to be pinned just to really get the ribbing detail to kind of be visible. So if anyone has advice on how to block without blocking mats, that would be great to hear, because I definitely want to do this piece justice by blocking it properly and really showing off the finished construction. So I would love to hear any advice that you have on that. Okay, and then the next thing that I've been working on is my Petal drop socks. So at this point, I am all done the cuff, and so my next step is going to be starting the heel, which I'm very excited for, but I've just been working on the Slipover the most, and so maybe once I finish that first band, I'll take a break and kind of do the heel on this, because I do think it'll go kind of fast. But I just absolutely love how this is coming together. I think the colors in this yarn are just so pretty, and I want to make so many other things out of it. This is Noro, I always forget the order of the words, but it's like Silk, Garden, Sock, Solo, something like that. Might be in a different order, but those are the words. And it is just like so pretty. It's purple as like the main color, but it just has so many different flecks of color. And you can kind of see like within the skein itself here. I feel like it's coming up a little more dull on the camera than it is in person, but also totally just like jabbed my finger on one of the, like on my 5th needle here. They're super thin and pointy, but they're working really well for this. So I just also love working with like the double pointed needles. I just think it looks so cool. It's, I don't know, there's definitely like an adjustment, but it's not as complicated as I expected it to be, which has been really nice. I definitely think this will be my go-to sock making method over magic loop. I do like magic loop for other things, like I have a hat that I'm working on in magic loop, and I mean it works great for that, but I just think something like this I'm just enjoying a lot on the double pointed needles. But yeah, I don't have too much to say, but I'm just really glad to be done the cuff and moving on to the next step, because I think once I get past the heel and I'm just working on the foot, I'll just feel a little more motivated to get them done really quickly, so then I can start the second one and actually get to wear them in the summer, well, spring and summer. We got snow again, so definitely not going to be looking to wear nice shoes and socks anytime soon, because I don't want them to get wrecked with all the like slush and mud and everything. But in the next couple months, as it warms up and dries out a little bit on the sidewalks, I would definitely love to have these available to wear. I just think they're so pretty. And if anyone has advice or like recommendations of good shoes to wear that look good with nice hand knitted socks, I would love to hear about them, because I'm still figuring out what kind of shoes I want to wear. I think like a Mary Jane style shoe would look really good. I think I'd go for white over black. I just think white would look better with something like this. Just kind of show it off a little bit better. But if there's other options out there that you guys are wearing with your hand knitted socks, then I'd definitely like to hear about them, because I'm not committed to any specific shoe yet, and I would like to be able to do a little research and make the right decision. But yeah, these are my Petal drop socks so far. Something that I've actually made quite a bit of progress on, I believe since the last time I would have shown it, is my olives vest. I've actually been able to now finish the front and back and join in the round, which is super exciting. I haven't picked this up in probably about a week because again, I've just been working on the slipover, but this was like my treat once I finished. I think it was the collar before I started the double pointed, or not the double pointed, the double knit bands on the side. I took a break from the slipover to work on the vest and just finished the front to be able to join it in the round. And I just am so excited for this. Really, I don't have that much left on it because it'll just be knitting in the round, doing the ribbing at the bottom, and then picking up along the sleeves, and just, I think it ends up looking similar to the collar. I don't know if you fold it over on the sleeves or not, but since it's not like a proper sleeve, it won't take too long, which is really exciting, because I would like to have this available to wear pretty soon. But I just love the color so much. This is in Knitting for Olive. The Merino is in Dusty Artichoke, and then the Mohair is in Dusty Sea Green. And so you can kind of see like some stitches look a little darker, some look a little lighter, but they do complement each other really well, and I just feel like it gives it like an extra bit of depth and like interest to look at. Once I did the collar though, it was nice to be able to try it, or I guess the collar was on the whole time. I'm thinking of the slipover. But once I was able to kind of separate the front and the back before joining it, and have it on two separate cables, and actually got to try it on, the collar, like I was a little worried that with the mohair it would feel a little itchy because I haven't made anything with mohair before, but it honestly didn't bother me too much. I don't think I really noticed it, and I think that if I were wearing it throughout a whole day or something, I don't think it would really be that noticeable. So that's a relief. But I guess if it didn't work out, I just have to wear it over like a turtleneck or something so that it doesn't really touch my neck directly. Yeah. Again, I don't have a ton to say about this. I'm just excited to actually be in the round on it. I don't mind knitting flat, like back and forth, but I think I was just doing a lot of it because the slipover is the same, and so it was just nice to have something join in the round and not have to like purl full rows. But hopefully, maybe the next time I film a progress update, this will also be done or almost done, and I'll be able to wear it pretty soon. Yeah, so that is my olives vest right now. Okay, and then the last project that I am actively working on is my Pippi pullover, which, let's see. Okay. Here's what we have so far. So I think last time I recorded, I had just picked up sleeve. I think maybe I've shown up to maybe this part. So my issue with this is I've kind of run out of this main yarn, which is too bad. But my plan is I transitioned into the pink again, the normal way, and now I'm doing the same ribbing with the pink as I did on the bottom hem with the yellow. So I'm not doing the full like beige into yellow because I didn't have enough yarn for that. But I'm basically just gonna end up with like a chunky like color block cuff in the pink, and I'm gonna do the same on the other sleeve, and then the collar I'm gonna pick up and do in yellow. So this is the front. So I have one ball of the like Drops Tweed, the main like beige color here, which I'll use to do the sleeve, and I'll probably do the same thing, just do the pink, yellow, pink, and then cuff, just like straight into the cuff here. And I'm hoping that that looks good. It is shorter than the pattern calls for. In the pattern she tells you to do, I think, 4 of these, and then after the 4th like little color stripe, you just do the cuff, just in the beige, like in your main color. So I'm definitely cutting the sleeve short, but I'm hoping that I can stretch it out and it'll still be long enough. I'm not super tall and I don't have very long arms, so I'm hoping that it'll be like close enough, because it's all the yarn I have left to work with, so it kind of has to work. So I guess I'm just hoping that it looks intentional and it doesn't look like I just kind of cobbled it together as like, well, I'll work with what I have. But I really didn't want to have to order like 2 more skeins of yarn from the UK, because all of the yarn that I used for this came from the wool warehouse, which is great, but I didn't want to have to order just like 2 skeins of yarn and then wait for them to show up and deal with all of that. So I figured I would just use up what I have, hope that it all works out and looks like it was on purpose. So I'm hoping that, you know, the collar and then the hem are yellow, and so that'll look good together, and then the cuffs will be pink, and they'll kind of, I mean, they're kind of hitting around the pink here. So hopefully it all kind of works out. But we're going for a bit of a road trip in the middle of April, and I just feel like this would be a really nice sweater to have to throw on for that. So I am also trying to finish this relatively soon so that I can actually wear it for the road trip. So I guess in that sense, kind of everything I'm working on, I also want to have done all at around the same time, which is fine. I think it's possible if I just kind of focus on one thing at a time and just kind of check them all off and get them all done. Obviously the priority is the slipover because that's the test knit, and so there is like a deadline with that, but that's coming up in the next like week and a half, 2 weeks, and I do think that that one I'll be able to get done ahead of the timeline if I just kind of exclusively work on that. I mean, I'll take a small break, maybe work the heel as just like a little treat, and then finish the other band on the side, and then let that block, and then work on the sweater so I can wear it. And then maybe on my road trip I'll work on Olive's vest and get that done, because that'll be an easy one, I think, to just kind of have in the car. And then it'll be warming up and I'll be able to wear the vest. I think it'll be a really good one for the spring. So ideally I'll be able to have all of those things done within the next month. Maybe not the sock, but the actual like bigger garments should all be done, and then I'll be able to pick up a couple new projects, which is really exciting, and I'm going to talk about that next. So the next project that I'm going to be casting on as soon as the slipover is all done and off the needles is going to be the stick season sweater for my mom. So I'm using the Haynes Creek Heathers, which is the same yarn that I'm using for the slipover actually. And it's also the yarn that I used for my stick season sweater, but I used green. It was forest green. This one is teal. It's definitely a brighter like blue color in person than it's showing up on camera, but I just think it's so pretty. I'm very, very excited to do this, and I think that this might be kind of the big thing that I work on the road trip. I mean, my mom's birthday isn't until October, so there isn't like a huge rush to get it done. It's not like she's gonna be wearing it throughout the summer because it is like a heavier yarn and sweater. And there wasn't any deadline for giving it to her, but I just figured I'd set the goal of having it done by her birthday so I could give it to her as a gift. But she just liked mine so much that she wanted one for herself. So I'm very excited to cast this on and be able to make that for her. Yeah, I think the stick season sweater is a great sweater. I really love the one that I made for myself. I just think it looks really nice. It has that same kind of shoulder detail that the slipover has that I really like. I think it's just very flattering. Yeah, it'll be nice as well to have like a matching sweater with my mom. I think that'll be really fun. But yeah, this is like my favorite yarn. This is going to be the third project that I'm making with it, and then I have plans for a fourth coming up this year. So that might be the next thing I buy. But I think most likely what I'm going to have as like my next yarn acquisition is going to be the yarn for my book club cardigan, because that's kind of a bigger, more complicated project. And so I think that I'm going to, once I'm done the sweater and the olive vest, that'll be the yarn that I buy. That'll be the yarn that I buy is going to be for my book club cardigan, because it's just going to be a big yarn purchase. I think it uses up quite a lot of yarn, and so it'll be a bit more of an expensive one, and it's also just a more complicated project, and so it would be nice to kind of get that started relatively soon, so that for my birthday in the fall I'll be able to have it done and be able to wear it by then. So I think that's going to be my next yarn acquisition in the next month or so. So yeah, I really love everything that I'm working on at the moment. I also have a couple things that I didn't show because I just haven't made like any progress or any noticeable progress on them. So that would be like my muscle bra hat for my husband. It's just, I've added probably like a couple inches at most. I just kind of take it around with me as like my traveling project, just to like church and school and whatever else I'm doing. And then I have my mittens, which I haven't picked up. I still just have the one done and then the one cuff done. So I kind of wish that I had just picked them up and finished them, just like powered through, because it got cold again. And so it would have been nice to have the warm gloves, but it seems to be warming up again this week. And then I'm hoping it just stays warm and we get a real spring and it doesn't decide to get cold on us again. So we'll see. But yeah, I haven't really been feeling motivated to pick up the mittens because I've been really focused on the slipover and then on just like a couple other like bigger garments that I'm wanting to have around to wear for the spring. So yeah, I'm really happy with how everything's coming along. I'm excited to start my mom's sweater and then to be able to start my book club cardigan once I get the yarn for that, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, that's everything I have really going on at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And thank you as well to everyone who has commented on my recent videos and subscribed. It has been so nice to see. I've gotten just some really positive comments and feedback, and that's just meant a lot. And so I really appreciate that. So if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment what you're working on, or if you have any advice. I'd love to hear both of those things. And if you want to watch any future videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.